Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I wanted to tell you that I am not who I was 10 years ago. Yeah, and how do I know I'm not who I was 10 years ago? I actually have evidence for it. I have kept a diary since I was 14 years old, pretty much every day. So I have gone back and read those diaries, which are exactly my thought processes. I'm very verbal, as you can tell, and I write a lot. And so I've kept a journal. So I know how I used to process problems, strong emotions, difficulties, loss of something, how I used to think about myself. So having the ability to go back in time and see my own thought processes, I have evidence that I'm not who I was 10 years ago. I'm sure you have that in some way in your own life, that you can reflect back on a decision or something that you did that you wouldn't have done again. And so if we have a growth mindset where we think that we can change, then that's going to give us the ability to not be stuck in this idea of this is who I am. I used to tell myself, oh, I'm an anxious person. I'm a control freak. I'm a worrywart. These are things that I used to tell myself all the time. And some of you may have noticed the quotes that are behind me, and I'm holding one up right here. Don't believe everything you think. So our mind tells us a million different things about ourselves. If we believe those thoughts as true, they actually shape our lives and then they become true. Because if we're feeding ourselves certain information about who we are without the ability to look at those thoughts as thoughts and process them as such, then we're believing them. And the minute you believe your thoughts as fact, then you're set. Your life gets guided that way. But if you believe in the growth mindset, or if you believe in the process that I can change, that maybe I'm not a control freak all my life, and maybe I'm not an anxious person all the time, then you have the ability to think of yourself as something other than whatever it is we're believing. So unfortunately, the belief that we operate on autopilot, the idea that everything that my brain tells me is true, then we lose touch with being able to grow and flourish and become the best version of ourselves. So I would like to maybe bring to attention the idea of letting go of our attachment to our thoughts about who we are. So that can be a little bit sort of dysregulating, because like, well, then who am I? And we're not going to make this a philosophical question, although we could. We're going to make it more as an inquiry. So in the next few days, I'd like you to maybe think about, but actually acknowledge what you tell yourself you are. I'm an angry person. You know, many people suffer from quite a bit of anger. So they'll say, I'm an angry person. That's just who I am. My nervous system is always angry. Well, if we believe that, and then we tell ourselves that it's true, and then every time we get angry or blow our lid, it just confirms that that's true, then there's really no wiggle room and no room for growth. So one thing that I had to work hard on was being able to let go of the beliefs that I was one way and that I couldn't change. It is not age dependent. It is not stage of life dependent. Yes, there's big monumental things that happen to us that change who we are. But on a day-to-day basis, one of the things that I found most freeing was to say, yeah, this feels real, but it's not true. And so that idea and that principle and working with that actually helps us detach from who we think we are. And I always challenge my children, don't tell yourself you're just that. You're not just that type of person. You can grow. You might be that kind of nervous Nelly person, but then you can change and you can actually grow and flourish into someone completely different. And I can tell you that if I go back and I read my diary about who I was, I'm not that person. But it takes work and effort and an intention. So I have set my intention to finding out who is the best version of me, who do I want to be, and then I kind of work towards that. And that work sometimes is not easy, but it's so worth it, because then you can actually be comfortable in your skin and not believe when things come up and your brain tells you you're something different, you don't have to believe it. So let's kind of ponder that question for a couple of days, and I'll see you later.